Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Eddie. If this is your first time here, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to the channel to let me know you guys stop by to hang out with me. I would greatly appreciate it. Your support is always appreciated. Now, today's topic, I'm actually kind of excited to talk about because I'm a 90s baby. If you're an 80s baby or a 90s baby, then you know who I'm going to talk about. Dawn Richardson is a member from Envogue. Envogue is a very, very popular girl group from the 90s. They're in that category of girl R&B groups like 702, SWV, Escape. We could throw TLC in there too. So she's from the group. Oh, what about Total? Total is a girl group too from the 90s. But anyway, Dawn is from Envogue. She recently went online to tell her story about her living in her car for like the past 3 years. I'm not exactly sure what prompted her to tell this story, but it's her story to tell. She's free to tell it and we're free to listen. So we're going to get into her story. She's going to tell it. We're going to listen to it. I'm going to give my commentary as well as we're going to hear a couple reactions as well from it. Then I'll come back, of course, and give my commentary as usual. And you guys can leave yours in the comments in the chat as well. So let's go ahead and get into the content for today. Hope you guys are having a good day. Today is Friday. So if you're going into the weekend, I hope you guys are off from work. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Let's go ahead and get into the content, and then we'll come back and I'll give my commentary. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the content.
For the past almost 3 years, I have been living in my car. I said it. Oh my God, it's out. I've been living in my car. Oh my gosh. If you remember, if you guys were with me, in 2020, I did like 105,000 interviews. And in the interim, I was living with my parents in Vegas. And that was wonderful until it wasn't. I love my mom, but she became very angry. And a lot of her anger she was taking out on me, and I was her target all the time. And I was like, I can't deal with this. Like, I respect her too much. I didn't understand it. I still don't. And I was sleeping in my car for maybe about a month in Vegas. And then the guy that was co-managing me at the time was living in LA. And he said, you need to come back to LA. I don't have a lot of room, but I'll make room for you. And then when I got to his place, he actually didn't have room for me. So it turned into, okay, well, I'm going to put you in a hotel for the night. And that one night turned into 8 months. Oh my God, you guys. I was like, no, this is unacceptable. I have been researching car life. There's a whole community of people that live in their cars, and a whole community of people that live in their RVs, and a whole community of people that live in vans. Van life, car life, RV life. And I loved what I was seeing. I just thought, wow, these people, I can do that. I can do this, I think. And I ended up in my car, and it's been, like I said, 3 years. I think I'm going to go and sleep in my car. I think I'm going to live in my car. I've been researching it, and I know I can do this. And she's like, yeah, you can. She was gung-ho, and I was like, okay. So I went up to Malibu. You know, Malibu is the place where you can take Highway 1 all the way from New York, literally. And it's kind of the place where everybody stops along the way when they're coming from the East Coast and they're heading west, you know, to California, to make their dreams come true, to start a new life. Guys, this is not like, oh my God, poor Dawn. She's living in her car and it's terrible. Oh, what was me? It's not that. It's not, like I said, I'm learning about who I am. I'm learning myself as a person, as a woman. And I didn't think if you would have said to me while I was in Envogue, you're going to be living in your car one day, I'd be like, huh? No, I'm always going to have an apartment. I can't live in my car. How can I do that? I won't be able to live in my car. We say that we can't do certain things before you even know we're capable. Nisa keeps telling me that when people find out, when the fans hear that you're living in your car, they're going to be so proud of you. Because I am documenting this whole adventure. It's an adventure, you guys. It's a journey. And I've been documenting it and filming myself doing certain things.
Dawn Robinson living in her car. The lady from Envogue. Talking about a spiritual healing. She's been homeless for 3 years. What?
In the car. I saw somebody send a message and say, Jermaine, Monica, all of y'all, can y'all put some money together to help Dawn out? From my understanding, for her to speak on it the way she spoke on it, she was basically saying that she saw other people living in their vans, living in RVs, and she welcomed the idea of doing this. Somebody said her choice or limited options. Having an assistant is not something that you should even think about if you don't have no money, right? And I'm bringing this up because Dawn, when she was telling the story in her car today about her living in her car for the last 3 years, she said, I was telling my assistant. And when she said that, I said, oh, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. It changed my whole vibe of what I was watching because ain't no goddamn way she got an assistant. And she ain't got no money. You know what I mean? Ain't no way. Yeah, Mr. Watson, when you ain't got no money and you out here just doing what you got to do, you do it by yourself.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? You moving around by yourself. Ain't nobody getting ready to sit up under you and just kick it for nothing. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it might be some people that will stick there for a little bit, but 3 years. She said she been in her car for 3 years. Ain't no 3 years of an assistant staying around. They ain't getting no money. If you ain't got no money, how they gonna help you? I mean, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got no money to pay them.
Yeah.
It don't even make sense, right? It don't make sense. So I'm just trying to make sure everybody pays attention to the whole scope of this story because that's what I heard, and that made me think, wait a minute. She got an assistant. I don't know if she broke. She might not have all the money that she want in the world, but she definitely is not broke saying she got an assistant.
Yeah, no.
That's all I'm saying.
So the comments on this, I'm sorry, they did not pass the vibe check for me. Jermaine Dupri, which is why I put him in here, he was the only one that was really making any type of sense to me. And he seems to be like the only one that actually listened to the video and the context behind it. Because when I was on TikTok, looking at the comments and looking at other people's reaction, y'all were very much giving what she said it was not giving. She said it's not giving woe is me, poor Dawn. You guys were giving woe is me, poor Dawn. When I say you guys, I don't mean you guys on this channel. I'm talking about other people on TikTok that were talking about it. She did not say she wanted help. She did not say she was going to start a GoFundMe. She did not say she wanted us to give her money. She just said, this is a healing journey. This is my adventure. I'm doing what I have to do. Now, she was living with her mother in Las Vegas. She moved out because she said that they just wasn't vibing. She said she loves her mother, but they just weren't getting along. That's fine. If you choose to live in your vehicle versus in a house in Las Vegas, that's something that you chose to do. Now, she did say she researched van life and she was kind of excited about trying it out. Listen, as somebody who has researched van life, because it seems to be the only way to save money these days is to live in your car, I researched it and it's a rabbit hole that, trust me, once you go down it, it's pretty cool. Like, people take these vans that they buy. Sometimes they're actual buses and they retrofit them to look like RVs almost. They have a lot of amenities in them. Sometimes they have like wood floors. Some of them, like if they're big enough, they'll have like, appliances, all kinds of stuff. Now, she said she was living in her car, not a van. So I don't think she is like that invested in it to where she's doing a lot of things that these hardcore van life people do. I think she was just maybe living in her SUV or something like that. That's kind of what it sounds like. But I mean, I didn't see anything wrong with it. Like, obviously, she probably doesn't have $1 million anymore, but it didn't sound like she was down bad that much to where she was about to start a GoFundMe. Now, so that's why I say the comments, they didn't really pass the vibe check for me, because you guys were giving very much like she was like, I would say homeless. Some people still call this homeless. I kind of don't, because this just sounds like the choice she wanted to make. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she could have been living with her mother, then she wouldn't be living in her car, but she didn't want to do that. So I don't think that. And then there was another video that I saw where her ex-husband had offered her a place to stay. I guess he was going to rent out a house. I believe it was in Michigan, from what I recall. He was going to rent it out to like traveling nurses, but once he saw her video, he offered to let her stay in his house. It's like a 2-bedroom home. She declined it. She didn't want to stay there. So she's happy. She's where she wants to be. She don't want our help. She don't want anybody's help. Leave her alone. I think she's fine. I don't now. A bigger conversation is what happened to her money. I don't know that. She didn't exactly explain that. But here's the thing. When we're talking about groups from the 90s, there's a lot of people who have come out since then, since that time period, and have talked about their experiences with their record labels and how they had bad deals. I'm not saying that's her case, but if you listen to a lot of the documentaries, I know there was another show called Unsung. I believe it was on BT. Some other artists have come out and talked about how the record deals that they were in, they're always going to benefit the record label more. Let's just be for real. But some of the record deals were so bad that the artists couldn't even perform the music anymore because they didn't even own the rights to the music. So once they were kind of like out of the limelight, they couldn't even do like smaller venues or club appearances or anything like that to sing the songs that they used to perform because they didn't even own the rights to it. So you have to understand too that from that time period, there were a lot of bad deals. I do know that a lot of other artists have come out and talked about that. So it may not even be that she spent all the money or was irresponsible or anything like that. It just may be that she didn't get a lot from what she was even doing because a lot of those artists, like I said, didn't even own the rights to that music. A lot of times the songwriters own the rights to it, not the actual performers, which are the people that we see singing the songs. And when it comes to the music industry, we all know it's very cutthroat, right? Everybody gets paid before the artist even gets paid. When they do a tour, there's so many people that have their hands in the cookie jar. There are the promoters, the venue, the lighting, directors, the band, the DJ, the backup dancers, people who, I don't know what they call these people that arrange your travel, your flights, your tour bus. There's all these expenses that people have to pay before the artist even gets paid. A lot of people don't see that because they just see like, oh, so-and-so went on tour and the tour grossed, keyword is grossed, right? The tour grossed $200 million. But think about how much went into that tour and how many people had to get paid for all the work that they did. The artist usually gets pennies on the dollar when it comes to that. So we have to really be understanding with that because most of the artists are not getting what we think they're getting when it comes to their performances, when it comes to the album sales. At least back then, you did actually have to buy actual albums versus now. It's all about streaming, social media engagement. It's really all about that. Nobody really buys CDs or cassettes anymore, obviously. But so album sales, I guess, they still matter, but they're not as big of a factor as they were before. So back then it was a little bit easier when it comes to like how much money was being made and trying to quantify that. And all that was a lot different back then in the 90s. But the same thing goes as it is today, which is the artist didn't get a lot of that money. So I hope she's okay. I think she'll bounce back. She kind of put herself out there. I kind of forgot about this group, if I'm being honest with you, because they actually sing a really good song that I like from the 90s, which is Don't Let Go. If you don't know that song, look it up. It's from the Set It Off soundtrack. Envogue sings that. I love that song. That's still one of my favorite songs to today now that I think about it. I'm going to go play it. I love that song. So I hope she bounces back. I hope she gets back into music. I don't know where the other I don't know where the other group members from Envogue are. I haven't heard anything about them in a long time. Maybe they can get back together and make an album and go and go independent. A lot of artists now are going independent because they want to keep more of the money. So maybe they can get together and go independent. I would support them. Maybe they could do like some sort of comeback tour like SWV and Escape are doing right now. Escape and SWV have been performing for like the last 5 years. and they're not making any new music. They're just performing that old nostalgic music that we loved from the 90s. And people are still going out to see the shows. So maybe they can get together, maybe link up with 702 or Total, you know, or another group from the 90s and do like a comeback tour. Living for it. Living for it. Anyway, Dawn, we love you. Stay strong. You didn't ask for help, so we're going to leave it alone. Come back and make some music. I'm definitely going to support. But with that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And you guys have a good day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.